everybody. Welcome back to the episode of Let's Talk About with Richa. And today I'm so honored to have an amazing guest on our show, Dr. Chandra Rajan ji from India. She is currently advocate at Honorable Supreme Court of India. Welcome, Dr. Rajan ji. We are so honored to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could you please tell our audience a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the audience?
I have had nearly 3 decades of my professional journey. And in 3 decades, I have had 3 different careers. Initially, I started my career as a journalist. And later on, I became a professional professor teaching at the university for a couple of years. After that, I ended up becoming a lawyer in the Supreme Court. And now I'm here to stay there for as long as I am here.
Amazing, amazing. And you call yourself a peacemaker. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Pardon me?
You call yourself a peacemaker. How do you?
Yes. Peacemaker, because see, in my 3 decades of career, I have seen a lot of ups and downs in my own personal life. I have seen up and downs of various people near and dear to me. And also I've understood how the society works and what are the pitfalls or drawbacks in our society where we need to actually give a helping hand to the fellow citizens and how we can actually help them grow professionally, otherwise in the their own personal lives also. So what I have realized is that there is a lot of dissatisfaction in people's lives. They set their goals, they earn money, but at the end of the day, if you look deep into their lives, they are not satisfied. Some or the other social, psychological, personal, or maybe professional issue is always haunting them. So I thought that, a little more needs to be done in order to bring peace into the lives of the people. So these thoughts were going into my mind. And when I joined my PhD in Punjab University in the year 2004, so that was my preliminary year of my PhD. At that time, an offer came to me, and that was from CARES organization. CARES is an NGO run by all army officers, retired army officers, and they wanted to offer me some sort of an important position wherein, my job was I was a chairperson of a committee taking care of international relations with other NGOs, other international NGOs. So I realized that if being in NGO and working for a handful of people, we were always dependent on the policies made by the government. So whatever programs we used to make or whatever projects we used to bring in were only giving whatever positive impact in a way to only a couple of people, like few hundreds of people. Our reach was not beyond a certain limit. I thought that there is something still which I need to do further. So after completing my PhD, I did my law in order to serve larger section of the society. And I thought that becoming a lawyer, I will be able to make or influence policy changes, which will in turn impact the life of many number of people, maybe many number of sections of the society. So I became a lawyer. So fortunately, when I became a lawyer, I got an excellent opportunity because I was already associated with many NGOs by then. And I was also known as a social activist and women empowerment activist, and doing a lot of social work for downtrodden people, giving them free legal advice and all those things. They were a part of my life. They are still a part of my life. So these Muslim women from our country, they approached me. There was a PIL filed in our Supreme Court. The issue in that public interest litigation was, it was a writ petition. The issue in that PIL was that, in fact, in our country, we do not have any family law which is addressing the personal laws of Muslim community. We do have family laws which address the personal laws of non-Muslim communities like Hindu community, like there is a law for Christians, there is a law for Sikh, there is a law which addresses the special marriages which are happening between two different communities. But there is no particular codified law which can address the personal laws of the Muslim community. So this is the stark reality of my country. So because there was a vacuum in this area, what used to happen is that all these people, the Muslim people, they are still governed by the Sharia law in our country. So in Sharia law, what happens is that they say that the moment the Muslim husband says talaq, 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 that means divorce, divorce, divorce 3 times, the woman is deemed to have received the divorce.
Okay.
Without going to the court. Without going to the court. So it was deemed to have the received the divorce by the woman, and the clergy of Muslim community would then issue a fatwa called a sort of a judgment, which will then certify that yes, this person, this man pronounced divorce, divorce, divorce against his wife, and now because he is pronounced it, so they both are deemed to be as separate people now. They are not couple. So this verbal pronunciation of talaq, talaq, talaq used to keep the Muslim women under the uncertainty, persistent uncertainty, that whenever, there is a small rift between a husband and a wife, and the woman would be scared, like, he may pronounce that talaq, talaq, and I'll be nowhere. So the personal rights or right to life and dignity of the woman was not secure. It was not protected by the law. So this was the situation. So the PIL addressed this situation, that this pronunciation of talaq, talaq, talaq was unconstitutional because Article 14, Article 19, and Article 21 Article 14 and 21 in our Constitution is precisely guaranteeing the right to life and dignity to the women. So we are not covered, and this is unconstitutional, must be struck down. So this was the issue. Unfortunately, we won that case, and I was able to do something for the Muslim
saw
community.
that. I think I read an article about that. And so it's so good to hear that you were behind, you made that happen. That must be such a big win for all those women who's been living under the uncertainty. So tell me, how is this then done? Do they also have to kind of sign like now we are married, so that when they sign legal papers when they are getting divorced, or how is this process then?
See, the court addressed only this one small issue, saying that the triple talaq pronounced instantaneously in one go is invalid.
Okay.
Remaining all the things now are same. Like there is an arrangement in the Quran which says that talaq pronounced once, then next on the next month, then third on the third month.
Achha.
So this way it is pronounced, which is valid, which is still treated as valid. But still, I would say there is a huge lacuna in the codified law of Muslim community. There is no codified law for Muslim community. It's in bits and parts. There are 2-3 laws which put together makes a Sharia law, which is still insufficient and not addressing all the issues that come up for the Muslim communities. One thing. Your question was, how do I call myself a peacemaker? So this is how. When we won this case, so many women, we have nearly 15 to 20% of our population. That means more than 15 to 20 crore of people, Muslim community in India. So they are now, half of them are women. So they are now living in peace. What I saw after the PIL was, the judgment came in our favor, we won that. What I saw is a noticeable difference in their confidence level. Now, earlier, they used to always feel like, insecure and like sort of a hanging sword is hanging on their heads and always insecure. Now, these people, these women, Muslim women, are feeling so secure. They are so confident that you can see, you can read on their faces. So huge peace is there. Similarly, I tell you one more example. I practice law, but I also practice ADR, that is arbitration, mediation, and conciliation, etc. So mediation is a process of ADR, which is the process which settles the disputes outside the court. Okay. Now, what happens is whenever a new case comes to me, I try and solve that case before it goes to the court. I try and settle that case outside the court, convince the parties, resolve their issues, send them back home. So I, in a way, sort their disputes amicably, make peace among the parties, and send them back home. And I have been very successful, and I have completed 300 such cases. Wow. Precisely, that was the reason that we met in London, because WEF recognized my efforts in that. Yes. And it was so amazing to meet you in London in October last year. I felt that you call yourself peacemaker, but I believe that you hold this feeling of peace inside you, and anybody who are in the approximation of you feel that peace. I felt so peaceful when I met you. Every time I met you, I became so happy and so, settled. So you're not just like a peacemaker for other people, but you hold that energy inside you, that focus inside you of peace. So anybody who's in your approximation feels that energy. So it's a true name, it's not just something you do with your work, but you are peace. So it's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. And you also write a lot of articles because you have a journalist background. And so tell us a little bit about your articles about peace. And you submitted a peace article in Europe also. Yeah, Richard, journalism, when I started my career, my first career was as a journalist. I started as a newsreader in Doordarshan in Gujarati in Ahmedabad. Oh, okay. And at that time, I myself never knew what is peace all about and what is law all about. So perhaps because my background was from commerce, I did my PhD also in marketing, international marketing. So basically, I belong to a commerce background. So in journalism also, I did a lot of business journalism. And in that, I would like to share one of my best experiences is this, that when I started my career as a journalist, I was all alone and first generation journalist. There was no one to support. And unfortunately, totally empty-handed. I had nothing, no money to invest. But then somehow I gathered some courage, and because at that time when you are beginning your career and you know everything, you know the industry, how industry works, you have the entire knowledge how things work and how to get the things done. So at that time you are also very enthusiastic. So I was around 26, 27 years old. I had worked with IIM Ahmedabad for around 1.5 years, and I left my job. I said I want to become publisher now because I have learned what print media is all about. And I shifted my base to Bombay, totally empty-handed. And I straight away, I designed my project, what to do, what not to do, made my project, and straight away went to the industry leader in print industry. Called, I designed my project in a way that I wanted to come out with a textile machinery directory, All India Directory of Textile Machinery Manufacturers. And at that time, there was no textile machinery manufacturers directly available in the entire country. And that was a print zamana. Like it was not internet days. During those days, everything was print. And few things were available on Doordarshan and all. So the industry leader was Chemical Weekly, a weekly magazine coming out from Bombay. And Bombay is the hub. It is still a hub, economic capital of our country. So I went there. I straight away went to that office, and I wanted to meet the person who was in charge of marketing that magazine. And he was obviously quite senior person. And I said, "Sir, I want your guidance." He says, "Yes, what?" So I just laid down my project before him. I said, "I want to do this, and I need your guidance." So he said, "You want to become a publisher?" I said, "Yes." "Then who will be the editor?" I said, "Myself." So he says, "What is your age?" I said, 26. So, I never heard that. "Do you know how the industry works?" I said, "Yes, sir, I know it." "Do you know that once you publish the advertisement, because advertisement is the only revenue, once you print the advertisement, then you have to go with the proof, collect the money, and then only you can run your office?" I said, "Yes, I know, sir, all that, but I will collect money in advance. I will give them discount and I'll publish the advertisements in advance." He says, "What are you saying? We are here since the last 60, 70 years. We have not been able to do. How will you be able to do that?" I said, "Sir, I'll do that. Don't worry about that. I'll do that. Just you guide me how to get the information and how to arrange it and how to publish it and all that, and give me some references." So that gentleman was not convinced. And he said, "I am sure you will fail. It's better you go and do some job." I just came back home. I said, "Now, he has challenged me. And I am already determined and I have to do that." So straight away, I didn't go home. I went to the International Textile Machinery Manufacturers Association, which was again in Mumbai only. I straight away went there. I talked to the officers there. I said, "I want to meet your chairman." So they said, "Where are you coming from?" I said, "Coming from Ahmedabad and I want to meet him." Regarding what? I said, regarding taking advertisement from him and his interview. So they say he doesn't sit here, he sits in Coimbatore. I said, "Okay, I'll talk to him. You kindly connect me and I'll talk to him. I'll take his appointment. I'll go to Coimbatore." Spoke to him and he discouraged me. He said, "No, no, when I come Bombay, you meet me." I said, "No, sir, it's urgent and I want to meet you." He said, "Okay, then come." I went to Coimbatore. He sent a car to receive me. And once I reached his office, I explained him, and he was again shocked. He says, "26 years old girl, you will become a publisher." I said, "Yes, sir. This is my plan." He was convinced with my plan because he was a person who was the chairman of Lakshmi Machine Tools. And Lakshmi Machine Tools in those days was one of the largest textile machinery manufacturer in the whole of Asia, with multi-billion crores of turnover. So he got convinced. He said, "Yeah, you seem to be, sincere and courageous girl. I support you." I said, "Fine, sir. Then you, sir, please help me with this, help me with this." And, "Okay, which page you will give me?" I said, "Sir, front cover." In my directory, the front cover. He says, "Front cover?" I said, "You are the largest. Who else can come on the front cover?" "Okay, okay. Okay, front cover, done." Then I said, "Sir, if I can kindly get the check in advance." So he got angry over me. "You don't trust me?" I said, "Sir, I do trust you. But the problem is that if I give credit to everybody, then I'll have to run around them. And being a girl, I can't do that." So then he immediately understood. He says, "Okay, no problem." Immediately gave me the check.
Wow.
So before getting up from his table, I said, "Sir, since I have come all the way from Bombay to Coimbatore, can I just have one or two more references so that I can meet them also before going, because there is a time in my back journey." So he says, "Okay, you note down 3, 4 names." He gave me, and from his office only, I requested his secretary, kindly connect me with these people. Got their appointment, went, met them, collected all the 4, 5 checks, and came back to Bombay. So this was my beginning. And after that, I had never looked back. I collected so much money. that I got an office, I purchased an office, published my directory, and here was the same person who inaugurated my directory in the International Textile Machinery Exhibition, which happens once in 4 years. And in my first lot, I published around 500 copies, all sold.
Oh, wow.
And then I went to the same person, Chemical Weekly editor, the same marketing person who dissuaded me and who said, no, you go and get some job. I said, sir, here it is. This is the directory. These are the 4 words written by so and so, all luminaries of that industry. And everyone, I got so many certificates, got so many, good messages from people, so many awards, everything then started falling from the sky.
No, I don't believe it fell from the sky. It was your hard work and your persistence and not taking a no for an answer. I mean, I work with female entrepreneurs every day, and what you are describing, it's amazing. I would say so bold and so courageous and so determined that you had the faith in your vision. Even if that first gentleman cannot see your vision, you were able to get there, and that's so inspiring. I mean, I can't wait to tell my other business associates and clients that this is how it should be done. There's so much to learn from you. I mean, you did this many years ago, but I believe
that was in 1990. This was in 1990.
So 3 decades ago, you did this, and
yes.
Yeah, 3-4 decades ago, and the challenge is that young female entrepreneurs are still facing what you faced 3 decades ago. That when they explain or take their projects for investments or recognition or any kind of support, people say, no, we don't believe in this. You should get a job. It's less and less. People don't straightforward come up and say, you are a woman, why would you do this? Because it's become more acceptable to that female entrepreneurs are there. You are truly
no is not an answer. No is not an answer.
Yeah, no is not an
answer.
Yeah, you didn't take a no for an answer, which is so inspiring and so amazing. Thank you for sharing that story. I know a lot of women will be very inspired by this and the success that you achieved. And I like what you said. After that, I never looked back. That's so amazing.
After that, I had 2 another careers, like being a professor, as I told you earlier. I was teaching marketing. I'm still teaching. Now I'm teaching law, of course, and another career as a lawyer. Everywhere I just did my best. Now I cleared my law in 2015, and those who cleared law with me, they are still struggling. And I am the one who has already shared a dais with Chief Justice of India.
Wow.
That is something, which even the senior advocates have not been able to do that. They are still struggling. So it's because my understanding as a journalist, my understanding as a professor, and my working with non-governmental organization, NGOs, that has given me a kind of an understanding and maturity, which others may have not received that.
Yeah.
It's not because of my varied experience and support from my family, which is at the back.
So how you have various careers and you have so many projects and so many things you do. How do you find the balance, between the things that like is your career and, family, personal time, being healthy, how do you find that balance? Because I see a lot of career women, successful career women, but they're finding it difficult to balance, their health and their family time and their personal time and, both. So tell us, what is your secret?
Actually, you see, you have to understand one thing, that who are you
Mm.
and why are you here where you are.
Mm.
If you prioritize your things in a way which doesn't hurt anyone and which takes care of everyone, whosoever is expecting something from you, like if your family is expecting some sort of a time from you, some sort of a services from you, then you have to give them that. You can't avoid that, because it is ultimately for the family that whatever you are doing is. So everything has to be prioritized.
Mm.
If you are prioritizing everything, then I don't see any problem of any sort can come to you, because for me personally, my family is my first priority.
Mm.
Even if I am inside the courtroom, if my child calls up, or if my husband or any family member calls me up, I will immediately leave that, come out of the place and attend to that first, because that is my first priority. If my
Okay.
family is happy, I am happy.
Mm.
If they're not happy, then whatever I am doing is useless. It is totally worthless. So
Mm.
that is my first priority. There is a separate number for them, dedicated to them, and I am available to all of them at one phone call, wherever I am. Even
Amazing.
if I am a judge sitting in the court, I'm also a jury member. I am an advocate, appearing before a court, or I am doing anything, I will attend to them first.
Oh,
So this is my
yes.
first priority. And second priority is then, of course, my profession.
Mm.
Then in profession, you prioritize your things,
Mm.
which is the thing, as I told you at the initial stage, that my primary introduction is that of a lawyer. So you have to prioritize your professional things then again in a manner, so that nothing gets ignored.
Mm.
That is how I manage.
Mm.
That is how I manage.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Um, any specific health, you know, routines or tips do you have to stay healthy? And because my belief is that if you have health, then you can do more, you can help others, you will also be happy. So do you have any like specific routines or something you do to prioritize your health?
Yes, of course, health is the topmost priority. And for that, I do a lot of exercise. I do yoga. I do cycling daily.
Really?
I do, yes, I daily drive cycle. For 5 to 6 kilometers, maybe, but
You
I drive
cycle
cycle.
every day?
That keeps me, fit.
Wow.
And in food also, I take a lot of care. I don't eat fried food. I don't eat, chapati, bread, and all those things. I
Mm.
prefer to eat, vegetables and anything which is lean meat, dry meat,
Mm.
fish. But I don't eat fried food.
No.
No calorie food. No cakes, no pastries.
Really? You
Yeah.
don't like cakes and pastries?
No.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
eat. I like. Anybody would like that. But
Yeah.
I like. In a moderation, maybe sometimes, somebody's birthday, something like that. It's okay.
Mm.
But not as a routine. You
No.
have to, you have to have self-control in eating.
Wow.
And, they say that if you eat little less than what is required for you to eat, then you will stay healthy. So that is what my practice is. I eat always little less.
Yeah.
Keep myself always hungry.
So, any advice you would give to people who are just starting their career or starting their businesses? Any tips or any guidance that you would give them?
See, in business or in any kind of a professional career, or in anything that you do for society, you work in NGO, you do anything. There are two most important things which are required. Number one is people's confidence in you. Number one thing, because you cannot do business on your own with yourself alone.
Correct.
So people's confidence is required, number one. And number two is honesty.
Hmm.
if you are honest, then people will have confidence in you. And number 3 is knowledge. If you have knowledge, only then you will be able to do something. If you are not comfortable in the profession or in the area where you are trying to jump in, then better don't do it. So if you have complete knowledge, if you have integrity and honesty, people will, they are bound to have confidence in you.
Yeah.
And once they have confidence in you, people includes your clients also. People includes those who are not your clients also. People also include your workers, your employees, your friends, your neighbors. So once you have developed that kind of a rapport, like what you said a couple of minutes ago, that when you were with me, you felt like there is a peace around me. It's because I all the time think about that. So if you are leading that kind of a life, then your aura becomes automatically an aura which inspires confidence in other people. So remember one thing, there are no shortcuts for success in life. You have to have honesty, integrity in order to inspire confidence in people. And once there is a confidence in people, you are bound to grow. Nobody can stop you. Not even your competitors can stop you. No. You're bound to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel so lucky and so honored to have met you. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajanji, for giving us your time, your knowledge. And yes, I just feel very honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.